Every team has procedures. Most of them are a mess, outdated, inconsistent, stored in 3 different places, and written differently by whoever happened to write them. That is what happens when there is no standard for writing SOPs. This video fixes that. In this video, you will learn exactly how to write a standard operating procedure, what to include, how to structure it, and the most common mistakes that make SOPs useless in practice. Whether you are writing your first SOP or building out a full library, the same principles apply. A standard operating procedure, or SOP, is a documented step-by-step instruction for performing a specific task consistently. It tells who does what, in what order, and to what standard. The word standard is doing a lot of work here. The entire point of an SOP is that every person who performs the task does it the same way, every time. The reason most SOPs fail is not that they are badly written, it is that they are written for the writer, not the reader. Procedures full of jargon, assumed knowledge, or vague instructions like process appropriately tell the reader nothing actionable. A good SOP is written for the least experienced person who will ever perform that task. Step 1 is to define the scope. Before writing a single instruction, answer 3 questions. What specific task does this SOP cover? Where does the process begin and end? And what does a correctly completed task look like? A scoped SOP is focused. An unscoped SOP becomes a sprawling document nobody reads. Step 2 is to know your audience. Identify who will use this SOP. What is their job role, their experience level, and what they already know. An SOP written for a PhD scientist reads very differently from one written for a new production operator. The standard is not your own knowledge level. The standard is the reader who needs to follow it without asking questions. Step 3 is to choose the right format. Simple linear tasks work well as plain numbered steps. Complex tasks with decision points or multiple roles need a hierarchical structure, phases broken into numbered sub-steps. Regulatory environments like manufacturing, pharma, and medical devices often require a specific format defined by the quality system. If your organization has a standard SOP template, use it. Step 4 is writing the steps themselves. 4 rules cover most of what separates a good SOP from a bad one. 1 action per step. Never combine 2 actions in one sentence. Use active voice. Add 10 milliliters of reagent is clearer than reagent should be added. Be specific with quantities, temperatures, time ranges, and tolerances. Vague instructions create variation. And define any term a new employee might not know. Step 5 is review and approval. An SOP that has not been formally reviewed and approved is not a controlled document. It is a draft. In regulated industries, this step is non-negotiable. The review process should include at minimum the person who wrote it, a subject matter expert who performs the task, and a quality approver. Document all 3 signatures with dates. eLeaP's EQMS ensures you stay compliant with Part 11 e-signature rules. Step 6 is training and rollout. An SOP becomes effective only after the affected staff have been trained on it, and that training has been documented. This sequence matters. Approve first, train second, enforce third. Reversing the order, making an SOP effective before training is complete, is itself a compliance finding in regulated environments. eLeaP's validated LMS ensures you stay compliant. 4 mistakes account for most SOP failures. Too long. If it takes 30 minutes to read, nobody reads it before doing the task. No version control. Multiple versions circulating with no clear current revision is a document control failure. And in a regulated environment, an inspector who finds 2 versions of the same procedure in use has found a serious observation. Written by committee, inconsistent voice and structure across sections, and never reviewed again. An SOP written in 2019 that describes equipment, systems, or processes from 2019 is not a controlled document. It is a historical artifact. SOPs need a defined review cycle and someone accountable for enforcing it. In regulated industries, pharmaceuticals, medical devices, life sciences, SOPs are not just best practice. They are a regulatory requirement. FDA inspectors expect to see SOPs for every GMP-relevant process, with documented training records for every employee who performs those processes. The SOP and the training record are one linked system, not two separate documents. If you are managing SOPs manually or running a document control system and a training platform that do not talk to each other, that gap is where most compliance findings originate. eLeaP connects the two. Every SOP revision automatically triggers a retraining requirement for affected roles, and every training completion is linked to the specific SOP version the employee was trained on. That is the audit trail regulators ask for. See link in the description and subscribe for more quality management and compliance content. Next up, how to build an SOP from scratch using a structured template, the practical companion to the principles covered in this video.